Garfield the comic strips?
Yes.
Garfield doesn't talk, okay? But in the comic strips, he still manages to do crazy things like feed me, you know, or Jim, I'm trying to get your attention. You know, feed, and then feed me. Or he'll be like, oh, I'm so fat, I ate so much lasagna. And but that is all, he's talking with his body language. And so even though Garfield doesn't actually talk in the world, he still talks internally. Like, you know, you see the thought bubbles, it's always, you know, little thought bubbles of what he's thinking. And his body speaks what he was thinking, right? So if he's trying to get your attention, it's like, I'm trying to get your attention. I don't have to say it, I just. Emote, talk, just try out new things. Don't be afraid to try it. Movies, I would say, have limited, like real live action movies, unless they're, I don't know, I mean, I can't think of too many action movies where they tend to be more nuanced. You know, the actors, it's like, oh, I raised my eyebrow in surprise. Okay, that's great. I don't see that in the Fursuit. I would say look more into video games, comic books, and anime, and cartoons. Animated cartoons. Definitely animated cartoons. So those are good sources to draw on, and just experiment on your own. Music is also a great is a handy tool for just like having something to do when you're not really doing anything. Like if you're standing outside the dance, you can just, if you're really tired, by the way, don't be afraid to just not, if you're really tired, just go ahead and sit down and do nothing, really. Don't feel like you're like, oh my God, I'm in Fursuit, I have to do something at all times. That's not really not the case. It's just, you know, my character is just like, I don't know what to do, or if you need a break, just go ahead and do a break. But you can still be dramatic about it. You can still pose, you know, when you're resting, and like, ah. Any other questions? Or ideas or suggestions that you want? Okay, this cup is too big. I can't drink. I can't drink it. That's so thirsty. Yeah, any other, give me another adjective or something. We can play improv.
Adventurous.
Huh?
Adventurous.
Adventurous. Let's see, that's a tough one. Adventurous. 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 I don't know. I was successful at channeling Indiana Jones. Just switching out the idol with a bag of sand and then running from the boulder. But yeah, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. Adventurous, I would say adventurous, be confident. People that are adventurous tend to be, you know, confident. I'm not afraid of the unknown. So I would probably just, instead of the opposite of the whole, you know, lean away from the thing, I would just be like, take a more, you know, I'll be like, I wouldn't be afraid. Yeah, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, more positive body language, you know. I would just be like paying attention to you more. Yeah, let's go on an adventure. Let's do it.
Adventure time.
Suave.
Suave. Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't have too much life experience on that. Yeah, I don't know how to be suave. That's why I'm still single. So I'm very bad at being a bird. You know, birds will always be so flashy, like, oh, look at me, I'm a bird. Oh.
There you go, that's suave.
Oh, I did it, yay! See, experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. Whew. That's a lot of talk. But yeah, I hope that helps you guys with your fursuits. If you either have your fursuit or if you're planning to build one, that gives you an idea. Manage your heat levels, you know, just try whatever you want and draw draw on your experiences widely. You know, draw it from anything. If you have an idea, just try it. If you can, film yourself. If you can't, if you don't have a friend, just film yourself. You know, set your camera up on a stand or something and just film yourself and just do silly things. And actually, that's one that takes a while to get over, because I hate. It took me like years. I hate hearing my own voice on recordings. It's like, really? I sound like that? That sounds like a dork. I'm not a dork, but why do I sound like a dork? I don't want to listen to this anymore. I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to listen to this. And I'm accidentally emoting the whole thing because I'm in fursuit. It's a reflex at this point.
Have you ever found yourself doing it out of fursuit too?
Yes, actually, that got really awkward. So I just came, some of the conventions can last, 3-4 days. And when you've been doing this, I sometimes fursuit like 6 to 9 hours a day for 3 or 4 days. That's almost 24 hours there in full fursuit. You've been in fursuit for basically one 24-hour, not continuously, but, and then so when I went back to work, it's like, hey, what's up, guys? And I'm like, what? My coworkers looked at me funny. And I was like, oh, crap, sorry. I'm doing it again. Yeah, by accident, yeah. I accidentally an emote. But it really helps bring the character out, this wouldn't be half as interesting if I was just, standing here or sitting here. Actually, notice I try to avoid sitting here, because you're losing half of the body language. Because that's all I can do is just do this. And it's not, fursuiting is just do what you can, work with what you got, but don't be afraid. I need water. But I want to keep my fursuit on. I don't want to run the magic.
Get this man a straw.
No, I'm good. But yeah, it's a lot of it is just having fun and being not afraid to try different things and just get inspiration from all different sorts. Get inspiration from life, really. Get inspiration from life, and thanks for spending an hour of the evening with me. This is great, I love to share the stuff that I've learned over the years and while fursuiting. Corvin's going to turn 3 years old in July, and I actually celebrate his birthday. No, and that's the delivery date. The day the U.S. Postal Service delivered Corvin to me, and I actually celebrate his birthday more than my real one. Yeah, no. When it's Corvin's birthday, I take myself. Well, I take I am Corvin, I guess, but yeah, I take him out to and get steak dinners, and then on my birthday, it's like, who cares? So it gets a little silly, but yeah. It's a lot of fun and a lot of work. Don't be afraid to experiment. Just try. That's the thing. That I see some fursuiters. It's like drawing. You guys were talking about earlier. There was a different person. It's like, oh, I don't want to draw. It's gonna suck. And you may be right too. That's fine.
Even professionals have bad days.
Yeah. When I first started drawing, for the first 6 years, I refused to show people anything that I drew because I thought it was just so terrible. It would make you just want to just gouge your eyes out and just not oh, why am I being subjected to this? But yeah, just try, really. Try everything. Like you said, try everything. The only way you can fail is if you don't, you'll never know if you don't try. And that's the only sure way to not do anything. If I were to just sit in front of this table and just not really do anything and talk about the emotes. But if you were to step out of your comfort zone, instead of hiding behind the table actually is a barrier. And I'm just here talking to you guys. That's great. And then of course, this is my character too. So your mileage will vary, which is why I'm completely open to the idea. If you guys have any questions on your own characters that you would like to develop, I can now help give you ideas or I can be just that edgy guy over there, just if you guys got anything that you care to talk about, I guess we can talk about it. Let's see how we're doing on time. Yeah, 8:56. So yeah, just open Q&A, really. Yeah, I know they blocked this for 2 hours, but Yeah, I mean, I got stuff for, this is good for about an hour. If you guys, like I said, if you have any questions or any challenges you want to be aware of, hey, what if I want to, fursuit at a, I don't know, in the desert or something, or fursuiting at a concert. Oh my God, those are, no, I fursuited at a rave before. That was a challenging environment. Yeah, we were lucky though. The rave actually invited us and they gave us a changing room. So that was awesome. Yeah, and then so, yeah, but the problem is as people got drunk, then people started doing crazy, dumb things. And as the night went on, I actually ended up retreating back to the green room and not coming out. Because the people would start, with the first, one of the other things, you just defend your fursuits every now and then. With drunk people, you never know. With normal people, they're usually like, hey, I'm good, man, leave me alone. And then, normal people be like, oh, okay, I'll leave you alone. But if they're drunk, it's like, no, I want to see if there's a person in there. I know, it sounds stupid, but when they're drunk, that makes perfect sense to them. And then they'll try to rip your head off. Yeah, that ain't cool, man. But, yeah, I mean, first thing around kids, actually the other thing about emoting about kids is be careful, please. If you notice a lot of these high energy ones, me bouncing around a lot. Remember how I said I keep my head up because that's instead of looking like this? The problem is with kids, notice how I said I don't care what's happening with my feet. If you actually have a kid, actually do pay more attention to your surroundings or you may end up accidentally, bumping into some person. One of the things you can do with your fursuit because your visibility is so low, instead of like my feet is like this, I do this. I'm scanning. I'm using my eyes to basically scan where scan the floor, but instead of locking my head into one spot, I just casually look around. It actually helps me get a better idea of what's going on anyway. Oh, there's a chair there. There's a chair there. Oh yeah. And that actually helps your head. Your character actually looks more alive, and you get a better idea of what's going on because I'm actually just scanning the room with my head. Instead of keeping it in one spot, I'm just constantly checking the room. Whew. So that's another good trick actually. Instead of just work it into your character. So I do the head bobs a lot with my bird. But I'm actually building a picture of what's in front of me, given this little limited periscope vision. Okay. Ooh, I need water. Yeah, fursuiting's a lot of fun. You get to explore all sorts of fun and crazy, zany ideas. And hugs are awesome. I love hugs. Talking's my oxygen. So that's a fun, they worked into the character just fine. And I actually learned to project. The thing tends to muffle a bit, but if I speak in a certain way, apparently the beat turns it into an amplifier. I'm glad you guys were able to hear, just like even in the back.
Yeah.
Yes. The bird beak. Birds, man. We're good. Hey, how you doing back there? I didn't see you. Ooh. Yeah, you look good. I love your suit. Those plastic eyes. It reminds me of a Japanese style. Ah, see, I wasn't off the mark. Yeah, it's actually interesting if you study your first. That would be a fun class in college. Fursuitology.
Do it.
No, there actually are different build and character styles based on I've noticed between say North America, Europe, and Asia.
Like Japan has the really big heads with the shiny eyes.
Yeah, and the characters tend to be more elaborate. I've noticed that they would actually have like full costumes or.
They
and
focus
stuff.
a lot on silhouette.
Yeah, silhouette. Whereas Americans, we tend to do cartoony eyes, and we tend to be, I guess by Japanese account, naked. No, really, our characters aren't wearing any clothes.
Naturalists.
Well, we're more cartoons, American cartoons, right? Bugs Bunny, well, Mickey Mouse actually is wearing pants. That's interesting. Donald Duck is not wearing any pants. I don't know how that works. Yeah, in Europe, I think their eyes are a little different. Yeah, I find it fascinating to see how the different regions interpret a similar topic. So yeah, we're mostly, I mean, it's just open Q&A if anyone wants. All right.
For managing heat, where do you should draw the line for your limits? Because I was first shooting for about 20 minutes and I was like, okay, that's it, done for the rest of the day.
I have to ask though, when were you first shooting? Like at this con?
Yeah.
When did you first shoot though?
Probably
2:30?
Yeah, 2:30 around.
PM?
Yeah.
In the sun?
Not even in the sun, just
Oh,
inside. a lot.
just inside? Huh,
Yeah.
interesting. Have you first shooted before?
I'm still very new to it.
Still very new. Full suit, partial?
First, full.
Full suit. Okay, partial. Okay, so part of the exploration process of figuring out where your energy level is. One of the things I said was heat management, and people sweat or react to heat differently. And in your case, what were you noticing that made you want to stop?
Just low energy, just suddenly out of nowhere. Okay. That's
Oh, you're
enough.
exhausted? Okay, that's good. You're listening to yourself at least, though. Yeah. So just a quick primer. One of the things one of the things for a heat stroke is if you stop sweating, that's bad. If you suddenly stop sweating, that's bad. In my case, my personal case, I notice if I suddenly have a runny nose when I'm dehydrated, that means I'm basically having the heat is causing my body to just act weirdly. That's my. Yep.
Or for me, when I'm dehydrated, I actually have vision loss. That's another symptom.
Oh wow, yeah, that would definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean blurry, or you mean just mean
You
like?
know, sometimes you look at a light and you look away and have that little spot that
Yeah.
and it fades away. Well, it doesn't fade away, it literally grows bigger. Then I know you're gonna get food in my body.
Yeah, that's definitely listen to your body for signs, and if you're something's not right, something probably isn't right. Did you have breakfast, or did you eat anything before that?
Yeah, I had half a Subway sandwich.
Okay, so it's not. It just could be just low energy. If you're new to it, that could take some time to build up. A lot of this is aerobic exercise. Like jogging, things that are long lasting because you don't fursuit for short periods of time. You fursuit for long periods of time. It wouldn't hurt to build up just fursuit more often. If you're low energy, just take a break, or find a low energy pose somewhere. And if you've noticed, try to figure out whether you're just being, like I said, jumping is a really expensive thing to do in a fursuit in terms of heat, and or something. The other way to do it is to basically just start exercising more. Really, I've actually gotten healthier since I started fursuiting, not because I'm exercising more, but because I've learned that if I actually take care of my body, I can this is a physical activity. And so by eating better and just exercising more, I want more stamina. I want to be able to fursuit longer. So you can look into that. But from the looks of it, at least with low energy, I guess, eating, just doing it more often since you're new to it. And just watch out for heat. It doesn't sound like you had heat issues though within 20 minutes. I could be wrong. I know people that can't stand heat and it's nothing, they just are really sensitive to it.
It also didn't help that I was wearing all black.
Yeah, but you said you weren't in the sun though, right?
No.
So that's not a problem. The whole dark costumes only are an issue when you're if you were walking to the convention center, then you would heat up more. But even then, I mean, even if you're in a white, if you were a white tiger or something, you'll still melt just fine outside. It's not gonna. It'll help a little, but not as much as you think.
It probably helps to just wear it around the house too, so you get used to being covered by all this fabric.
That too. That it takes different people. We all react differently. So part of it is then just being comfortable with it until it becomes second nature. Like I'm accidentally emoting when I get back to it. I really hope that doesn't happen again. But yeah.
Typical areas that heat regulates through your body would be the wrists and the forehead. So if you have a way to keep your suit from completely covering those areas, it's healthy for you. I mean, it's obviously in a suit it's really difficult, but those three spots.
And just take breaks really, and just learn. Part of it sounds like there is more to explore, but it looks like it sounds like you weren't everything's fine. Just maybe just get used to it, really.
Yeah, build endurance.
Yeah, build up endurance and just getting used to it. Instead of, I know because we're not used to, if I was wearing a really heavy jacket in like 90-degree weather, my first reaction is like, oh, I gotta take this off, it's too hot. And that could be it too, because your body's just telling you like, this is really uncomfortable, you should stop doing this. It's, yeah, just